Daisy Gideon, thank you so much for your work today for Lebanon, for the Lebanese Australian community. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling today.
Well, firstly, I'm not the only person behind it all. There's a massive number of Lebanese all over the world who came together to make this happen. I just happen to be the dedicated representative here in Australia and in Sydney, so we're excited, but we're also nervous about how important it is for Lebanon that we come together and our voice is heard today. That's what's most important today.
What makes this campaign so special for Lebanon and the Lebanese Australian community?
Well, I think anything that brings Lebanese together is always special, but particularly right now, Lebanon is at one of the worst times in its entire history. If we can't stand up and speak out for Lebanon right now when it's being annihilated by the Zionist entity, our people are actually literally being shredded. Our homes, villages, ancient monuments are being destroyed. There is no respect for human life or for history or for humanity. And if we're not ready to stand up right now, I say to them, well, what are you waiting for? What more do you have to see? Do you want Lebanon to be Gaza before you stand up? We've seen what Israel's done to Gaza. We can't allow that to happen to Lebanon. And that's why this is so important for Australia and for Lebanese all over the world.
Thank you, Daisy. And tell me a little bit about the timing. 24th of November, why this week? What's its significance?
The date was chosen because it coincided with Lebanon Independence Day. 2 days ago, Lebanon celebrated 81 years of sovereignty, independence, and that's at stake. And so the global diaspora, when we came up with this idea a few weeks ago, it wasn't long ago, decided that it was important to connect it with Independence Day, not have it on Independence Day because we wanted people to be able to attend, and Friday is not a good day, it's a work day. So that's why we thought of the first Sunday close to Independence Day to be able to speak up for Lebanon and remind the world and remind our people that sovereignty is at stake. Our very freedom as Lebanon and Lebanese is at stake, and that's why it was connected to Independence Day.
Thank you. And talk to me a little bit about Sydney, Australia, and the other events kicking off around the world.
Well, here today we've got the event happening in Sydney at Holroyd Gardens in less than an hour. Getting a bit nervous about that. And then other events in Adelaide. They'll be kicking off at 5:30 in Adelaide. And there's events in Paris and multiple cities around the world. Some have co-joined it with Independence Day literally in various cities because they were already established. But it's a global movement and people are sharing it. Most importantly, Lebanese diaspora all over the world are sharing this message of hands off Lebanon, and that's what's uniting us, and that's what makes it unprecedented that we're all standing together calling the world, and especially Israel, to take their hands off Lebanon.
Thank you, Daisy. And one last message for our viewers. How can we keep connected to this event even after today?
Well, this event is going to pass today, but the most important thing is stay connected with what's happening in Lebanon. There are multiple platforms. You will not find it on the mainstream media, so do not go to the mainstream media because they are censoring the information coming out because they don't want you to see how bad it is. It's tragic. You can follow me on social media, Daisy Gideon, but there are so many platforms, Eye on South Lebanon, Live Love Lebanon, Live Love Beirut. There's so many platforms that are sharing this content. Megaphone, Thawra TV, all of these platforms are giving you direct from the incident, from the attacks, footage of the devastation that's happening in Lebanon, and you need to know how bad it is. Don't live in this delusional state that it's not your responsibility. If it's not the Lebanese responsibility of the Lebanese, who is going to stand up and care about Lebanon if we don't stand up and yell and scream about it? Today we're not yelling and screaming, we're standing peacefully at a vigil because we want our message to be heard very clearly. But really we need to all be talking to our local, federal and state MPs and saying to them, it's enough. ceasefire now, immediately and without condition, for Lebanon and also for Palestine, who've suffered for the last 14 months and are continuing to be murdered mercilessly every day. So that's my message.
Thank you for your contribution to the Middle East. We wish you the best today from Oz Arab Media.
Thank you very much, Shay. Thank you, Oz Arab Media.